Okay, it's already recording.
Great, thank you, Sven.
No worries. All right, so on the production request journey, do you think it's necessary to start with the screens from a sales and marketing perspective? So all of those screens, or do you want to focus more on the capacity planning view and the production plan? What do you think?
For me, I'd like to start with the sales and marketing area because that's the area I'm least familiar with, and that's the area I'm obviously most interested in learning more. But I'm happy to hear input from our side if they've got a preference as to what they'd like to hear first.
Sounds good to me too.
Okay, sure. All right, so let me share my screen. Okay. So the production request journey starts with the sales and marketing team. This is their dashboards, their forecast dashboards. And what they want to do is they want to create a production request because they have a need to start production for a SKU. So they would click here on Add Production Requests, and they will enter this form with fields about this production requests. So first they will have these simple details. They would fill in the details, and then here the most important part, the production requirements. They have two options to add them. They can create the requirements manually, or they can upload the documents, because they can have like an Excel or a spreadsheet with all of the information, and they would upload that document here, and they would be able to submit the production request. But if they want to create the requirements manually, they would click here on Add SKU, and since this is the default view, as of now, they don't have any SKUs added here. So they would add SKU, and here is the dialog to add SKU. And again, they have two options to add the SKU. If they already know the SKU reference, they can just paste the SKU reference here, and then they would select the artwork reference, and if they want an internal SKU. Oops, sorry, like here. So they would add the SKU, they would select the artwork reference, and here they would be able to check the SKU family. So they would be able to view the artworks. And then here on the production details, they would have this price matrix with some values for the size of the box and the number of picks. And then here they could select all the details about the production details. Oh, sorry, all the details about the production. And here, for example, we can see that there are some extras that they may want to add, such as the minimum order quantity, because here on the top, we see that their service level agreement has a minimum order quantity and a lead time. So if they want to select different options for these, they would need to pay an extra. And they can see that extra here in the related option. Then we have also the number of picks, and if they want to insert a flyer, also with the extra that they would need to pay per box, and then the dates. So they would need to select the promotional periods, meaning the period that this SKU will be in store, the consumer unit delivery dates, then the lead time, and the expected SKU ship dates. Then here on the top and the bottom, we would have a summary with all the prices. So price per box, extra price per box, total price per box, and the total price. So this is one option. The other option is if they don't know the SKU reference, and the only thing that would be different is this part of the details, because everything else would be the same. But here, since they don't know the reference, they would need to search for it. In order to do that, they would need to select the category, and as we can see here, only the category is enabled. So they would need to select first the category, then they would be able to select the product, case counts, and so on. And also they would have this internal SKU to add their own reference. So everything else would be the same, the SKU family and the production details, and then the summary. Okay. Please interrupt me if you have any questions or comments. Then everything is okay, so he will add the SKU. And as we can see here, the table has already a row, so has already this SKU with the details. And for this production request, you can even add more SKUs. So we would be able to create a production request for multiple SKUs, and each one would have their own details. We can see here the total order price, so the price for all the SKUs. So all the requirements are done. Then in the bottom of the page, we have here some supporting documentation. It's not mandatory to add any documentation, but if they want to, they can add the documentation. So then the third-party contractor manager can check them. So everything is okay. We can submit the production request. And here's just a confirmation dialog to submit to the third-party contractor manager. Submit, and then production request was successfully created. And that production request would be listed here in the production request dashboard. Okay, so this is the journey from a sales and marketing team perspective. Okay.
Excellent.
Great.
What are your thoughts, Rich?
Sorry, I'm here, but I'm highly distracted at present, so it's a good thing we're recording it. I'll review it later.
Okay, sure.
It's looking good so far for me, from my point of view. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, okay. It looks like, I mean, I don't know Nestlé's process, but it makes sense to me.
All right. Cool. So then sorry, Fraser.
Such as the prices that were on those screens, are those modifiable values through the JSON? I'm not sure if they're, I mean, I have no clue what a realistic price is, but just on the off chance those are not realistic price, are we able to change those ourselves?
Dipesh, do you want to answer that question?
Are you referring to the image or the prices which come through the drop down?
Just one on the matrix there. There was a total price further down. There's the price per box if you go under the minimum order quantity. Just any of those price values.
Yeah, those come through. Like all this data which comes into these drop boxes, they come through JSON.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
All right. All right, then we have the third-party contractor manager entering the scene. So for the production request journey, we have these 3 different use cases, and then we have the dashboards. And I think after we go into the production request journeys use cases, we can check the capacity planning because it's the, let's say, most recent dashboard that we worked on. But on the production request journey, we have these 3 different use cases. So if the dates are the same as their service level agreements, that's the first one. So let's go into that one. So what they would receive is this production request with all the details that the sales and marketing team added. We can see here the production requirements. We can even view the details of each SKU, like the view that the sales and marketing team had, but without the option to edit. So this is just in a view mode. But they would be able to check the artworks and also the price matrix and the options that the sales and marketing team selected. And then here, the production details would be the most important part for the third party manager, the third party contractor manager. And here he would have two options. So he could export to Nulogy, and we have Nulogy here because of Nestle, but we could have another third party tool here. So if he would select to export to Nulogy, he would click here, export to Nulogy, and then everything after this would be done outside the PaaS platform. So everything would be done in the Nulogy. If he would want to define the details manually, meaning define the details here in the PaaS platform, you would have this section here with the distribution centers that he can select. And again, the information about their service level agreements. And since we are in this use case that everything is matching, the dates are matching, he would say yes, that he agrees with the production details mentioned above. Then a brief summary with the dates. Then again, the supporting documentation that the sales and marketing team added. Here we would have just a log with the activities done on this production request. And then here the comment section. And since we are in the third-party contractor manager perspective, he would be able to contact the sales or the packaging side of it. So the sales would be the sales and marketing team, and the packaging would be the co-packer, right? So they would be able to quickly add some comments, and the other person would be able to see and comment again.
Yeah, like that. A quick question on terminology again. Obviously, Nulogy is a Nestle thing. Are we able? Is Phrase able to change like that word there where you've got export to Nulogy? Can we call that like third party scheduling or something? Is that in our control to be able to change that for somebody other than Nestle?
No, that's not from Jason. So yeah, let us know. We can make that change.
Okay. It might be that we have one version. I don't know how this works, but if we have one version for Nestle and one version for everybody else, I think we would only ever say Nulogy or third-party scheduling system or something. Whatever, you know. I'm sure we can agree on one word for that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we have a separate environment for Nestle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I will add that note here. Okay. All right. Any other comments on this one?
Looks good to me, Sophia.
Okay. All right, so everything is okay. He can now submit the production request, and now he's submitting this production request to the co-packer. So submit, and then production request was successfully submitted to the distribution center. So the other use case that we have is if the dates don't match their SLA, but the new dates that they want are for the entire production request. So all the SKUs will have the same dates. So the difference will be here on the production details. Here we are asking if he agrees with the production details mentioned above. He would say no. And then we are asking if he wishes to define the same production details for all the SKUs. And here he would say yes. So all the dates that he will define will be for the entire production request. Will be for all the SKUs. So he would select these new dates, but we do have an information here saying that the distribution center will need to approve these new dates. So this not means that the production request will go on from a co-packer perspective. Everything else would be the same. So he would submit the request. And again, the information saying that distribution center will need to confirm, submit, and production request was successfully submitted. The last use case that we have is if they want to select dates for, different dates for the SKUs. So they would say that they don't agree with the production details according to their SLA. They would say that they wish to define different production details for the different SKUs. And then for each one, they would have the same dates. So for each SKU, they would need to select these dates that will be important for the co-packer. After he defines all the dates, and we have this icon here on the right side to say if he already selected new dates or not. So we can see that in the first one he already selected, but the other one's not. So he needs to select everything. Then the other sections would be the same. And then submit request. Again, the distribution center will need to confirm. Submit, and the production request was submitted. So this is the part of the production request on the third-party contractor manager. And let me just show you first the screens for the plant manager, and then I will show you the capacity planning view, just to go on with the journey. So here on the plant manager perspective, we also have the 3 different use cases, because he will need to check the details according to what the third-party contractor manager added. So first one, this is the screen that they will see, again, with all the details that are associated with this production request, the SKUs, all the data of the SKUs. And then here on the production details is where he will need to take some action, because the call to action from a plant manager perspective would be to do an assessment to the production request. After he does the assessment, then he would be able to add the planned order to their plan. So here on the production details, we have this notification saying that all the dates are okay because they are matching the service level agreement of the customer. So we have a brief description of the dates here, and then they would need to do the assessments. The assessment page is this one. So we have some KPIs here on the top saying what are the SKUs available and what are the total SKUs. And since the dates are matching, we don't have any other status for the SKUs. We also have a link for the production plan, so they can check the production plan to see if they are okay or not, or to confirm if they are okay or not. And then here on the SKUs table, they would be able to approve or to propose a new date for each one. So they have these checkboxes here on the left side, and these bulk actions would be related to this. And they can also view more details about each SKU. Then they have here the requirement analysis. That will be an analysis that the PaaS platform sees this production request. And here's some comments that he may consider valuable to the customer. So in this use case, he will approve everything, because everything we can see here on the predictable availability status, everything is available, everything is green, so we can go on. And since we already have these checkboxes already selected, we can click here, approve, and then SKUs were approved. We can see that here in the assessment column, and then we would be able to submit the assessment to the customer. So submit assessments. Okay. Okay, so at this point, the third-party contractor manager would receive a notification, and he would be able to create the planned order and then the process orders and so on. So continue with the journey. Use case if the dates don't match the SLA. So they would need to do the same. Click here, assessment, and then here on the assessment page, they can see again the KPIs here, but since we have some other status for some SKUs, we would be able to see more KPIs. So we can see that we have one SKU that has the predictable availability status as unavailable, another one that has limited, and 3 that have available. So the logic would be the same here. They could select the SKUs that they want to approve or the SKUs that they want to propose a new date. And for example, here he is approving the SKU that is limited, or that the status is limited, because, for example, he can check the production plan and see that, okay, this SKU, we can put it in this position within the plan, so we can approve this date. So they would, he would approve, and as we can see here in the assessment column that only 4 were approved, and we still need to take some action on the first one, that is the unavailable one. And because we didn't did the assessment for this one, the submit assessment button is disabled. So we need to do the assessment for all the SKUs, so we can submit the assessment to the customer. Okay, so he would click here to select the first SKU, then he would propose a new date. And Fraser, I already changed the form of these. It's not dots, it's more a rectangle. But here, once he's proposing a new date, he can check what are the days that have more availability, or the availability is limited, or it's unavailable. So with this color scale, he can easily understand what are the best option or the best options to select. Okay. And then are these okay, Fraser? What do you think?
They're great.
Yeah.
I mean, the dots were great before, Sophia. It's just I was struggling to see them. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. These have more attention, right?
Yeah.
Are more highlighted. Yeah. Okay. So then they would select a new date. They would click submit. And then they would be able to submit the assessment because all the SKUs were all the SKUs have an assessment. So submit assessment to the customer, and was successfully submitted. The last use case is if the customer selected different dates for the different SKUs. So we would go into the assessment page, and again, the logic would be the same. So he would have this production start dates here, and also the number of boxes, and the PaaS platform would be able to define the predictable availability status. And again, they would be able to approve or propose new date for the SKUs. All right, propose new date. Okay, and then submit assessments. So the manager would be notified, and he could agree with the new dates that were proposed, or he would be able also to use the comment section to contact the co-packer if they want another date. All right, so this is the production request journey, as I mean the beginning of the production request journey. The other screens that I wanted to show you is the capacity planning. So this is from a third-party contractor manager perspective. So what we have here is we have a way for them to check the planned orders according to the months or to the monthly scheduling they have. So for example, if they have 18 months scheduling, they would be able to see the planned orders for that entire period. And they can select here a month view or a week view. If it's a month view, it would look like this. If it's a week view, we would need to have an horizontal scroll because we would have more bars. Then here on the charts, we have the planned orders assigned to one color, so we can see the number of not the number. Sorry. So we can see that one planned order is planned for the several months or not. For example, this one, the first one, we can see that in all the months we will have that one, just not in May and November and December. Then the rose one, we can see that in the first months we don't need to produce it, but then in October we would need to start produce it. So with this color, with these colors assigned to each planned order, we would be able to see fluctuation in these periods. The black line would show us the nano capacity, and then we would have a global status for a global status per month. So we can have here, we can see here the icon per month, and we only have an icon in the months that have like not status, because for example these ones that are okay, these 4 ones that are okay, an icon because we don't need to have users' attention on here. So we do have the icons in the months that are not very good, and we can see more details by having the icon. For example, in this one, we can see that the status is over capacity, and we do have 3 planned orders that exceed the available capacity. And we have a brief description of each one, so we can then drill down into the planned orders and maybe try to rescheduling or move to another position, let's say. So we do have an icon to show the status that are not that good, monthly speaking. And then we also have another status for, sorry, this one is not in the right place. Sorry, just 1 moment. It should be. Okay, I don't know why this is not working, but this should be here in the top. But the logic here, it's because of the scroll. Okay. The logic here would be to have an ever per planned order, so we can see the status per planned order. So for example, this one, we can see that is not very good, so the status is overscheduled. We do have some description of the planned order as well, number of boxes and the delivery dates, and recommendation for the user to consider move this planned order to another position because of the overscheduled status. So these are the options that we have here on the chart. And then on the bottom, we have the recommendations, globally speaking, that's the PaaS platform can give. And the action here on the recommendations is just to contact the SMEs. So we don't have any other call to action here to do something in the platform. It's just to contact the SMEs. And another thing here on the charts. So we can see here that the PaaS platform is giving us this recommendation to move the planned order to another position. So what we can do is we would click in the planned order like this, and we would be able to see the cards associated to that planned order with some call to actions. And in the card, we have, again, the description of the planned order, and the description of the status. Since it's overscheduled, we have this brief description here. And we have also a suggested date to move this plan order to. So what we can do at this point is we can send this request, and after sending the request, if the other person agrees with this request, then the third-party contractor manager would be able to move this planned order to this new date. So send request. Okay, and then the request was sent, but this doesn't mean that he would be able to change the planned order, because because this request would still need to be approved.
Yeah, the customer needs to agree to that first, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like this. So the black line, and I know that this is a bit of a mock-up. The black line, is there any way to see what dictates the capacity of Nano? Do you know what I mean? Like any screen that shows the calculation that arrives at that figure, number of shifts, number of people, etc.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm just asking.
Yes. I was just thinking that if we have another hover, it would be too much, because we already have hovers in the bars and in the icons. But we could have a legend, for example. But I mean, the values would be different according to the months, right? So, for example,
I'm thinking it's how many working days you've got in a month, isn't it? And once you define, so if you've got 20 working days that month, then you've got more capacity than if you've got 18 working days, if you had bank holidays or something. But inside your days, you've also then got the shifts that are manned. So if you run it 16 hours a day for 18 days, that is going to be a different number than if you run it for 8 hours a day for 20 days. Do you know what I mean? It's have we got a screen that explains that, or is, you know, I don't think we ever discussed that, did we?
Okay, let me think in a good way to show that that information. Yeah, because that information would be valuable for them to understand the exactly nano capacity along the months.
I think in like a full fat version of this, you know, MVP and beyond, we'd be using those kind of metrics to generate these lines anyway, wouldn't we?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, overall, I think this looks great. This capacity planning is amazing. It really is. I think it's captured what we wanted to tell from this screen.
Okay, good. But I will definitely think about this suggestion from Glenn, and I will try to add it. Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Then the other parts. is this here, is this one here in the production plan. And we do have, sorry, one moment. We do have two use cases again here in the production plan. We have the first one is when the order has the status over schedule, and the other one is when the order has the status missing bill of materials. So the first one is when the status is over scheduled. So what we will do is, okay. So what we will do is we are in this production plan and we can see that a notification here saying that something is wrong with the line number 2 that will impact our production plan. And we can also see that red color here in the line 2. So while hovering the icons of the process orders, because here in the production plan, so the difference between the capacity planning and the production plan is that in the capacity planning is more a forecast, and in the production plan is the real scheduling. So all of these orders are already scheduled. So this one has an overscheduled status. And what we will need to do is we will click here in these 3 dots and we will click here reschedule. And then the PaaS platform will suggest another date for the rescheduling, or they can agree with that, clicking here in the automatically, or they may want to select it manually. If it's automatically, then everything will happen automatically. The planned order will go to here and it will be highlighted just for the user to understand what is the position or the new position. And again, here with the notification with the information of the new date, new hour, and new line. Or if he decided to do manually, he would have that process order here on the right panel, and then they would use the drag and drop feature to move the process order. Again, if they are doing this in a manual way, the PaaS platform will show the recommended position as well. But they may agree with the recommended position and drop the process order here, or they may want to put the process order in another position. But let's assume that they want here, so notification, success notification as well, and process order highlighted. All right, then the other use case is with the status of missing bill of materials. Again, here we can see, and in this use case, we can see that all the lines are okay. So we can check that some process orders have a bad status, let's say, a red status, but it's not related to the line. So it could be something related to that specific process order. For example, the missing bill of material. So here we should have the status should be missing bill of material. So this is not correct, but I will change that, or probably it's another one. No, it's this one. Sorry, I need to change this this description here. But yep, we would be able to click here, then view details. And then here on the planning, we can see that what's wrong with the process order, and we can see that we have missing or incomplete bill of materials. And we can accept this do this this suggestion from the platform to splitting the process order. So we would click here, accept, and then we would see that the process order was divided into two sub-orders, highlighting status. So the first one would be with the status OK. The second one, since we at this point in time we didn't receive the materials, this process order would be amber. And again, this process order would have a missing bill of materials. But we are saying that the material arrive, for example, in this day. So once we are on the August 17th, this process order would be green. Okay. Yeah, and that's the logic of the missing bill of materials, and with the status as well, the logic of the status.
Yep, that looks good.
Okay,
all right,
so
and
I do think originally we'd said that we wouldn't allow a job to be planned if it wasn't there, but we wouldn't be able to demonstrate this level of intelligence on the platform without this. So this works. I like how this works.
Okay, cool.
Just
all right. Any other? Yes.
Jumping back to capacity planning, Sophia, and apologies if you covered this. The weekly view, what does that look like? Is that the same?
The weekly view would be the same, but we would have more bars. So we would have 4 bars per month. Yeah, instead of having here June 23, we would have week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on. And we would need to have an horizontal scroll.
That would show them that.
Sorry?
That would show them if there was one particular week where the demand was completely ridiculous, because there is, from the live data that we've got, there is one week in, I think it's February, where they need something like 140,000 cases of chicken noodles, something completely random. But we would be able to show them that there is one week that is essentially breaking that month, wouldn't we? And then they could choose to smooth that month by distributing, either pulling work forward or pushing work backwards. But just because it shows on here that there's a problem, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily unsurmountable, does it?
Yeah, exactly. Correct.
Yep, good.
Correct. So if we are seeing the week view, we would be able to see the status per week, and also the same logic would be available in the week view.
Yep. Thanks.
No worries. All right. Any other comments or questions?
I think everything you've gone through today, Sophia, it all looks great. Now that you've gone through, in particular, the sales and marketing piece at the start, it all makes a lot more sense for me. I'm happy with this. What are your thoughts, Glyn, Sharon?
Certainly from my perspective, it looks good. I don't think Rich has had any additional conversations with Nestle to give us any new information about what they're expecting. So, for me, I think there's enough here for us to build a convincing script, the stage managed presentation.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I don't have any additional comments. I'm obviously relying on your your process knowledge, Fraser, but as a kind of looking at it aesthetically and just understanding it, makes perfect sense to me as an absolute layperson.
Excellent. Oh, sounds great then.
Yeah. All right. And we have the recording, so Rich can check it after, and if he has any more comments, we can discuss them later.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Sophia.
Everyone else.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Happy weekend.
Bye now.